to the Tuesday night Principled Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Paul Roses. And I tell you, it is cold all over this country, even in Florida. We got to get the fire burning for DE Dynamic Essentials. Yes, it's DE week and the fire is burning. Hold on. Okay, just making sure my back wasn't burning. That's good. But there's the fire that's going for Dynamic Essentials. It's DE week, guys. Super excited to see you all there in person in Atlanta. We got the big conference starting in just 2 days, 48 hours until Dynamic Essentials hits us. I'm excited to be there. Hopefully you are too. Our upcoming dates for DE are obviously this weekend, January 29th to February 1st. Then in the spring, we're down in Clearwater, Florida. Then in the summer in July, we're back in Atlanta. And in the fall in October, back in Atlanta. Go to lifede.com if you'd like to register for this week's conference or any other. If you don't have a room yet and you're a last-minute addition, contact Kat. Maybe she'll be able to make a miracle happen. But otherwise, we're excited to be here at DE. We got our Connect groups, so make sure you're part of a group, purple, orange, blue, or yellow. You'll find out more when you get there. We'll get you on a team, and we'll get you going. And I think that's all of our announcements. But I'm fired up. It's DE week. It's freezing down here in Florida. I tell you, it's cold all over the country. But even in Florida, we're supposed to go down into the 20s here in South Florida this weekend. But like I said, if you're at Dynamic Essentials, that fire will be burning. And you'll be warm, and your heart will be full, and you'll go home a different person, a different chiropractor, a different CA, a different spouse. So hopefully you can change your community for the better. And that's what DE does, makes you the best version of yourself. And that's why I've been going for like 12 plus years, and I hope you come as well. Our speaker for tonight has been kicking butt as a chiropractor for over 43 years, a 1982 graduate of Life Chiropractic College. He originally hails from Bayonne, New Jersey, my Jersey guy. Go Jersey. But tonight, he's down vacationing in beautiful sunny Delray Beach, Florida, which is down here by me, which is also cold. I'll tell you, it's cold down here, guys. Get ready. But he's probably inside, warm, in a nice, relaxing shirt. He's going to drop a great message on us tonight. So without further ado, from New Jersey, let's give it up for Dr. Paulie Roses. Take it away, brother. We love and appreciate you.
What's happening, everybody? Yeah, I'm down in Florida. It was hot, but today it's cold, even for me. And DE week, I'm psyched. I'm pumped. It always gets that little excitement when you know you're ready to go. And sometimes you got the feeling just going to the office, knowing you're leaving. The patients who've been with you for a long time, they know you're going to be a little bit different, and especially when you get back that week, and that's something. But anyway, I do love it a lot. I love that we have this thing to anchor onto every 3 months, and then we have each other to anchor onto, in between. But the cool part about DE is that it's always evolving, especially in the last few years. The guys have really been doing their best to keep the community a community. Not like, okay, every 3 months you go, you sign up, you hang out, you hug, you love, and then try to hold on for another 3 months. There's a different kind of purity and a feeling with DE, and I'm really digging it a lot. This time we're going to be doing I hear that there's going to be a little bit more concentrated learning and teaching on a couple of the sessions. Like Dr. Brian is going to be doing the doctor's report. They used to call it the doctor's report way back instead of the lay lecture. You know, back in the Reggie Gold days, it was the lay lecture. Back in the old DE days, we always called it the doctor's report. And I didn't like when everybody called it anything else except the doctor's report, because that's what we learned at DE. That's what it's called, and don't mess with it. Right now, I think that that's going to be a great way for people to hook in and hear the way he does it, the way he communicates. And we're going to get some real live, get out of our own skin to be able to reach a lot of other people, because we know how to say it and feel differently during that report. You know, be prepared, get really prepared. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance, the 6 P's. And that's something that I heard a lot of years ago. I just keep repeating stuff at DE, you know, from the guys that just pop in and out. You know, I'm doing my thing, but really a spirit comes in and just tells me what to say. Now, back in those days we used to get a program, and pretty much like now, and you'd have the times and the speakers. But what was really hysterical was at the bottom of the speaker's name, there would be the subject of his talk. And that's just never happened. Nobody ever paid any attention to the subject. I don't even know who made it up. But all you knew was, this is when I was talking, and there was the topic. I'm pretty sure the next few DEs look for something special. Look for different topics that are going to be, they're just going to go out to reach and teach. And that's what's going to be fun and exciting. So that's something for the future. I think Dr. Michael Halloran is going to do something a little bit extra special too. And what's cool is it's not even going to take away from their regular talk. It might even be something extra. I really don't know what's going to happen, but I know that get ready, because it's going to be fun and different. I love DE tons and buns because it kind of brings out our strengths, my strength. You know how they say, oh, it's going to take off. You know, I go to DE and I remove the husk. To me, that really means it's going to allow me to be my strength and my powerful self. And I become more powerful every single time I leave DE, because I become certain, and because I like to be right. I know we're right. We hang out with each other, and we know removing a subluxation and allowing the power to heal itself and reorganize the body is always right. I don't have to take that responsibility of the patient's outcome, because if we hook ourselves into outcomes, whether it's the patient getting well, whether it's a goal that we want to meet, or anything that's not exactly our value, then that's when we burn out. But if we go in the office day after day and do the boring things really, really well, that's where you're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to be able to stay in practice a long time and not get burned out. And you're going to have a great life. All I want for the docs that come in that have been coming for under 7 or 5 years is to just keep on showing up, because I just know that every single time I go, I like to think that I'm not that far off center. I might feel pretty damn far off center sometimes. But when I get back, when I go to DE and I listen and I just let the spirit come through and become what I'm meant to be, you know what happens? I go, wow, I'm not that far off center. It didn't take too much to get back to where I belong. Now, I was at church a Sunday, and I love this priest guy because I love the homilies, and Marianne gets pissed off because I go on my phone and I write notes from the homily, and she's like, "You're not on a phone, you're on fantasy baseball." Well, sometimes I am, but when something's when somebody says something really good that kind of just goes right in, right to my heart, I want to write it down and not forget. But anyway, I didn't know, we just came down here at our place in Delray, but we popped down, and I didn't know that he was sick for 7 weeks and not being able to go to the church. So one of the things that I wanted to do with the DE was to introduce the experts that we have to talk about what they're really good at. And this way, instead of the regular DE, will have some of these little concentrated things. And the real reason that I wanted to do this was because I wanted for us to work on our weaknesses. We go to DE, we work on our strengths, we talk about our strengths, but a lot of us, including myself, don't really want to talk about where we lack and where we are weak and where we might not feel worthy and where we collapse under some pressure sometimes and where we don't perform the best we should. So I said, well, the way I always did it was I would call out a DE brother and once in a while and just say, look, I can't figure out how to get to so-and-so a week, or I want to hit this goal of how much a month. And at the time, that's what I wanted to do. Now looking back, being, in practice for a long time, those are the wrong kind of goals. The goals should have really been set on my values and not like an outcome. But what the hell? It got me cranked up. It got me excited. And after a while, you become wise and you go, well, once you get your toys and whatever it is that you wanted to reach, that's not really it anyway. In fact, I saw on Facebook today, the third baseman on Cleveland Indians, who really makes a ton of money. He just said, there was a little quote. It said, I want to be happy. I don't want a lot of money. And you know who's going to laugh at that and make fun of that? It's the people who can't really see that vision yet. Oh yeah, right. We'll be happy when we have so many new patients that we don't even have to go out and ask for them. Well, that kind of happened. And then I started to get coast. And when that happened, and I wasn't talking the talk, and that meant I wasn't really trying to help everybody. So I started to feel some of those weaknesses. And then the priest gave the talk on Sunday. And he said how he was scared to death. He was absolutely scared to death because he went to the doc and they told him he was in stage 4 kidney failure. And he prayed and he was scared to death, and people didn't even think he was a priest because of the way he was acting, he said. And he was a funny guy. But wouldn't you know, by the time the 5th, 6th, and 7th week came, they said, I don't get it. Your blood work is fine. And you're going to be able to go home and go back to work and do. Hey, Mare, I thought I left her at the trivia bar.
You did. Hi. Hi, everybody out there in Zoom land.
So he came back, from the near dead, and he talked about his weaknesses. And I said, geez, that's what we want to do at DE, is not only build up our strengths, but we want to be able to concentrate and admit our weaknesses and know we have them. So I just got thrown off for a second. And then here's what, as I started to think about that, here's what I learned. As being a chiropractor and having strengths and having weaknesses, they have to go together like peanut butter and jelly. It's actually a blessing if we are aware of where we're not the strongest, because then we get to work on it. I feel bad for people who I really do. I feel bad for people who, you know, are kind of arrogant. It's kind of how I used to be. Sometimes I can still get there, but my weaknesses is trying to be humble. And I look at these guys like, I'm not going to name names, but we know who they are all around us at DE. And what do you think they do? They can just leave their office for 2 weeks, close it, shut it down. And then they come back and there's the people. We closed today on Tuesday. And then I can still get back to the priest. But we closed today on Tuesday because people aren't pulling out of their spot because it takes 25 a half hour to dig out. And then they're going to come to my office and I don't have a parking lot. So they're going to double park and then they're going to go back home and lose their spot. So it's kind of a bummer. But I used to absolutely panic, go crazy. The volume's going to be down. And it took a long time to learn, you know what? It's going to snow. I'm in Florida. I think I'll just close today and then I'll land tomorrow. I'll open a couple of hours tomorrow night and then go back to DE. It sounds like a perfect thing. And the way it works is the way it works. Kevin Jackson taught me he don't call missed appointments. We used to call him all the time. We used to call in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. Why? Because I didn't want to let go of that peanut, really afraid of a volume going down. And then when he said, no, we don't call them. If they don't come up, if they don't show up, I just examine myself and figure out how come they didn't stay and then try to do better next time. And when I finally did that, that was amazingly freeing. They come, they don't. I just do a damn good job every single day that I'm there with them. I've got to keep my body right, my mind right, my spirit right, my energy right. Because if my energy isn't right and I'm a little flat, then what's going to happen? I'm not going to be able to talk to that mom about her kid that she left sick at home, or her father-in-law when she says, oh, I couldn't get to the office because I had to go take care of him because he's got this, this, and this. And how many times does that happen to all of us? And we say, oh, you know what? I'm too tired to go into depth with this to this person on this one. And I'm like, what are you kidding? That's not what you signed up for. You signed up to do your duty, to be able to tell the story and to be able to have people at least understand what the big idea is. It's up to them to accept it or not. So when the priest talked about his weaknesses, and I thought about what we want to do at DE is to work on our weaknesses, this just seemed to come right together. And that's why I told Andy, I'll talk tonight, even though it's in the middle of vacation. I'm going to get killed when I hang up because, this is still Friday and Saturday night to us. So anyway, let's get back to that part. Think about it. Take a second and think about what your one or two weaknesses are in practice. Now think about a past weakness that you overcame. Now, it doesn't have to be in practice. That's something that I want you to think about. How many people got off of drugs? How many people were alcoholics and now they're sober? How many people couldn't connect or communicate with a family member and now things are better? Once you get through that weakness and past it, how good does that feel? I mean, I could relate it to all kinds of things. I could relate it to, being up at the plate. We had this one season where I swung and didn't miss a pitch the whole season. Fouled a bunch off. And that used to be a weakness. And it always felt kind of good, even talking now about the war stories. So the message today is keep on keeping on. be aware of where we can improve, and then find that one or two of our DE brothers and sisters who seem to be doing it right. And then don't be afraid to grab in the hallway, send a text, say, listen, I got a little trouble over here. And then you're almost going to feel that nice warm arm around you, even if it happens to be 1,000 miles away, because it's a safe place. One more thing I want to talk about is when we've been in practice a long time, we have our regular folks, our regular patients that I got to tell you, we probably learn from them, and we get more from them than they might get from us lots of times. And I want to talk about Judy, and then I want you to think about every single person that you have, every single new person that you're going to see has the potential to be a Judy. I've been blessed with taking care of her for 41 years. She brings up stuff that I forget. She goes, Dr. Paul, I remember you ran out of the office when Marianne was having Bianca, and you said, she's in labor, I gotta go. She's the one who told me that when Danny is born December 23rd, to make sure I use Christmas wrapping for his Christmas presents, and that we have birthday present wrapping for his birthday presents, so the kid doesn't get ripped off and get one present for Christmas. She's the one who wrote me an anonymous letter back in those days when I was acting a little bit too big for my britches. And I've always kept that letter. And it's pretty confronting to read, I got to say, even now. But it keeps my ass right in the straight and narrow, especially when I might think I'm doing the healing and I'm the boss, and and I got all the whatever. I don't even want to go there because it's kind of painful to think about how like that was actually like that. So we're all going to have a Judy. Many of us have a Judy, but make those connections with people, not to be their friend, just to be the best doctor ever, and really appreciate them, appreciate what they bring to the table. We want them to appreciate us. And to me, that's my fuel. When I feel like I'm doing good for people. And the last thing is, I'm going to put out a little commercial. So I know Evan was up there and telling us about how he got his associate, and I think we've had about 30 of them, and we probably had more than 20 staff and become chiropractors and everything. But at this point, one of the coolest legacies I think that I'd like to have is my corner office still be a chiropractic office for another 30 or 40 years. So if anybody knows somebody that wants to come in and perhaps be a partner or buy in or whatever facsimile that might fit, I'm definitely ready for that kind of thing. So keep that in mind for me. And everybody, I love and appreciate you, and I'll catch you during the weekend.
All right, Paulie. Great job, my man. Thanks for missing trivia to drop that knowledge on us.
Oh, I did get the Deion Sanders one right.
Yeah.
Who was an NFL coach and played in the World Series. That was an easy one.
Deion Sanders, yeah. Listen, can you leave your phone on so we can hear Marianne yelling at you for leaving her at trivia, or do we have to sign off?
Come on, Mary, you want to jump in? All right.
I'm good.
Wave.
Hi, everybody.
There she goes. All right.
Nice there. Beautiful. Anyway, Paul, thank you so much for sharing tonight. I'm sure our people loved it. Excited for DE, man. 2 days away. Excited you guys are going to be there, and it's going to be a great time. So we're just 2 days away. Let's get fired up. Travel safe, everyone. I know it's cold, but we're going to get warmed up and with the fire of DE, and it's going to be an epic time. So can't wait to see you all there Thursday night. Love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Dr. Roses. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.